And even beyond that, I remember that week I was watching Beyond, and I don't know if it happened that week or if it just aired that week. But a few days after that, technically the same week, you're wrestling Gangrel on that show, which is
So
so
was
awesome.
the actual Wednesday.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Which I've openly said it on social media, but I don't know how much I really talk about it. But in my opinion, Gangrel is next in line for like that PCO run.
Yes.
He is so good. He works harder than everybody else. He will blow you up in the ring. Gangrel is he's the man. Like to this day, still the man. I don't think he gives himself enough credit about how like really good he is.
Every time he comes up, I always like to mention that it killed a little bit of my childhood when I set up to interview him and he's like sending me smiley emojis and stuff. I was like, man, Gangrel the vampire, but he's a great dude. He's such a good dude, and
Seriously.
I think a lot of people don't realize like he didn't just pop up in '98. He was wrestling Big Boss Man on WWF TV in like '89, and he was doing a lot of enhancement stuff for WWF in like '95. He's been all the way around. I love that comparison, but earlier we talked about Gangrel and people that could have a PCO run. In kind of looking through and researching in this, I see a name that could possibly fit that mold as well, if he so wanted to. And you've worked him multiple times. Little Guido.
Oh man.
And here's the thing. I think a lot of people don't understand what an actual badass he is. Like, they don't understand that 95% of people on the street, he gets into it with them. He's messing them up. He's messing them up real bad. Like, he's legit. And he still wrestles here and there, not nearly as much. But explain to me, because I know you worked him in at least twice.
Yeah. So I've wrestled him in a tag match. I've wrestled him in a 6-man tag at House of Hardcore, and I got to work him in one singles match for Lucky Pro Wrestling. And like the Sicilian Shooter is no joke. Trained by Billy Robinson, so he can go to UWFI in Japan.
Yeah.
He is as legit as they come to this day. Surprises me that he was not part of the Cruiserweight Classic. I know he's not that high-flying moonsault 450 guy, but I think he would have delivered something a little bit different. Like, just imagine him and Zack Sabre Jr. going at it, and I think that would have been absolutely insane. If he wants another run, he could have it. I've used him on one of my shows. He was actually booked on one of the shows that got canceled of mine. I think he's just happy living his life in New Jersey, working his regular job. I think he's happy making his extra, few bucks on the indies here and there. But even when he's at the shows, he's just hanging out. He's one of the boys. He's not like a name in the sense where he feels like he's above everybody else. He's cool to everyone. Remembers most wrestlers by name too on the indies. He's just one of the guys. And if he wanted to run, even if it was a Ring of Honor or Impact or whatever the case may be, I feel like he has something to offer based on all of his experience and the fact that he could still outwork, I would say, 90% of any roster.
I had the good fortune before Billy Robinson passed of doing a seminar with him and Billy Scott, and they both spoke very highly of him. And that run, I think, is something a lot of people don't even realize, the UWFI run that he had. And because so many people identify him with ECW and WWE, and that's a part of his talent, is that he adapts to everything. He can do everything. I'd love to see him face like Thatcher or somebody like that, just to watch him roll around a little bit.